Hello, everyone, and welcome to Answer the Call. Every once in a while, especially when the StarCitizen news cycle is not exactly popping off, I bring on some of my friends and guests of people that I may not know actually that well, but this is not that case at all, and chat with them and get to know them and have you guys get to know them as well. And today we have CrucianGaming, so welcome, Crucian. How you doing today?
Hey, doing good. Thank you so much for having me. I appreciate it.
No problem. No problem at all. I guess we'll start out with, in case people don't know you and haven't heard of you or anything like that, where did you get your start in Star Citizen? How'd you find Star Citizen, and what are you doing today? Can you kind of give us your background?
Gotcha. So I started playing Star Citizen back in 2015, which I think was patch 2.0.
Mm-hmm.
Had a buddy, throw a starter package at me. I played it a little bit. I really didn't like the game because I couldn't even get out the hangar. But at the time, I didn't know that you couldn't even get out the hangar. So,
Yeah.
which was wild. But 2016 happened, and then I was heavily into the Overwatch beta, and then they took a break like for a few months, and then I just started playing Star Citizen. So that was around, I'm gonna say maybe 2.6 patch, and then I got hooked. And then from there on, while I was in the Navy, I was a full-time content creator. On top of that, playing a lot of Star Citizen. I think I played for 2 years straight, playing full time. Just bringing my energy and my hype moments, to the community. And that's where I got started in Star Citizen. It's been a journey. And then let's fast forward to now. I left the Navy, and I decided, hey, I want to go streaming full time. Funny thing, it didn't work out that way. So I ended up finding a job at Logitech or Astro Gaming. I started doing events while starting to stream Star Citizen, and then it just snowballed into like a bigger job in the industry. Now I'm the esports manager, and I run the entire esports program at Logitech and Astro Gaming. And now what I do for the Star Citizen community is that you can catch me at Atmo Esports, where I do casting, help run social media, and I help put like all the partnerships together that we do with other companies like CIG, or if like the Toby Gaming Clash. We try to put stuff together for the community so they can hopefully have that feeling of competitive gaming, which I mean, you've had a taste of it before. So
Yeah, for sure. I like, yesterday. Yeah, it was yesterday. We did a little jump town, and when I died, I got pretty pissed off, and I was like, "You guys saw the like at the Atmo Esports event, the like I really like winning.
yes,
I also really don't like losing."
lose it. Yeah.
So I just like showed my competitive side for sure in both things. But what let's take a little bit of a step back, and what brought you to Atmo Esports. Talk to me more about Atmo Esports, because I know what it is. I participated in an event. I haven't participated in as many events as I would have liked, but do you want to like kind of give me the history of it a little bit, and tell me
Yeah.
more about it, so in case people don't know how it came about, and then obviously like start maybe getting into how people can participate into some of the events.
Yeah, so in 2018, I met Brendan or Corsair
Mm-hmm.
at
Cool dude.
The Austin Citizen Con. And from there on, like we started talking about like the events that he's doing, and at the time he was doing the Demo Rally, and it was
Yeah.
me and Saurus was like, yeah, we'll jump in and cast with you, right, and we'll do this and we'll do that, but. At the end of the day, Saurus just didn't want to cast because he didn't feel like it was going to be big enough. Which I can understand, right? But I decided to just
It's a
jump
new
in.
thing.
Yeah, exactly. It's a brand new thing, so I decided to just jump in. So in 2018, no, it was 2019 of January, I casted the first Demo Rally. So, and we were getting like two to 3,000 concurrent viewers. So we kept on with the momentum. And I decided to work more closely with Corsair on like what Atmo Esports, or back then it was just a Demo Rally, and he was like, we want to do more emergent events. we want to do more competitive gaming, and that's pretty much the goal of Atmo Esports. But back then, it was only Demo Rally. So, like, I put my marketing hat on, obviously, because I esports is my thing. I was like, if we go do other events, we can't all call it the Demo Rally. So what are we going to call it? And then he came up with the great idea to call it Atmo Esports. And I was like,
a really good name.
It's a very, very great name. And I was like, dude, that's a great name. You can, that can be the umbrella brand of all the events that, that you're doing. So, once we got that name out, we're like, what other events can we do? So things came out like the Hearst and Herlocker, which is a battle royale. We wanted to do some kind of F1 style racing, right? Which came out, which is going to be the Stanton 7, which is going to be the System 7, because we want to definitely go to other systems and not stay stuck in Stanton. So, and then that F1 style race came out. And then last year or this year, Fight or Flight, which wanted to do org versus org, but we're like, it's going to be too much. Yeah, exactly. Like, people are not going to get, we only had like 8 teams signed up that wanted to bring 20 people each to go 20 versus 20. We're like, this is not enough. So we pivoted to the 2v2 dogfighting, and that was a massive success. So, so what Atmo Esports is just we want to bring emerging gameplay to StarCitizen and also competitive gaming. Like, I feel like the 2v2 dogfighting aspect of StarCitizen can become much more than just dogfighting. It can become competitive. It can become an esports, but until we have competitive integrity, we can't do any of that yet. We can't call it esports. We can't, that's why we don't do prize pools. We definitely want to do trophies and reward people for participating, but until we have no desync and none of that, we can't really put, prize pools and things behind our events currently. So
yeah, I mean, the only event I've had the opportunity to participate in was Fight or Flight, and that was so fun. And you and I have worked together before you were at Atmo Esports, and
yes,
your enthusiasm and the effort you put into things is far and beyond what anybody else does, and it shows for things like that. And you kind of need more than one Crucian to be able to do things like this, like bring people together. The organization of stuff in StarCitizen is so difficult. So, I feel maybe some people here when you say bring emerging gameplay. Well, emerging gameplay is supposed to happen organically for the most part, right? But it's too hard to do at this point in the current game. So if you want to experience a race in StarCitizen, if you want to experience a 2v2 dogfighting tournament, it's kind of hard to do that without having a really good support team. And and it really seemed like that all that kind of started with you. If I know you a lot, I'm sure there's a lot of people behind the scenes that I don't know, but if I know you, it was you had a big hand in a lot of that stuff.
Yeah, I always say I do my best. I never take credit for anything. Obviously,
I think if I know you, you're not going to take credit for it as well.
Yeah, course, there definitely. He's the one that put things together. We dude, this. I'm not going to say this is this is our hobby. This is our passion project, right? And we have so many people behind the scenes. We have a producer. We have somebody doing graphics for us. We have an editor. And everybody. None of us. No payment. None of us get paid. I don't care. This is just me wanting to do something for the community I've been a part of since 2015 that I genuinely love. Other than the the stage we went through, I call it the giveaway stage back then.
We were all there. We were all there. We all thought that was a good idea.
Yeah, I know. All the OGs know about that era, but other than that part of it, I think this community is amazing, and I just want to keep bringing something fresh and new that can excite people to join, right? And we're still working on events I feel like we have 3 good main events that we can continue doing over time that people are going to want to be more and more a part of, and there's one that is still up in the air that we might change or that we might, but I mean, all the people that put in the work behind the scenes, man, especially for the Demo Rally, we have 700 racers, 200 staff is volunteers. It's crazy, man. And it's just all of us just putting our time in and just trying to do something more for the community and just having a good time about it, man. And it's becoming great, right? You see, like, we have Toby that always wants to be involved, with us. We got Gamer Advantage and Monster Tech and orgs that really want to get their name out there. They come to us and be like, hey, can we be a part of something? And it all works out. And I feel like as the game gets better, we are only going to get better. The gameplay is only going to get better because
it just makes your job easier at that point, right?
Yes, it does. Because right now, I mean, it's the battle of the servers, right? Like, is the server going to hold up or not? If not, we got to reset, and that takes like another 30 to 40 minutes to restart. But the thing is, at the end of the day, no matter what, like, I keep on casting, I keep on talking, we get it done. So,
yeah.
But yeah, looking forward for that 4.0. That's all I'm gonna say.
Yeah. What's your favorite? I know it might be hard to choose one, but what's your favorite thing that you've done, been a part of, casted since you started there? What's like the best memory you've had?
I think it has to be Fighter Fight Toby Gaming Clash, man. I think seeing you guys pop off after a win or seeing the victories, man, and just seeing the joy on everybody's face, I think it makes me, really, really happy to see that because I see that now, right? My main thing is that I work Halo events. I work fighting game community events. I see people popping off.
Yeah.
To see people pop off while I'm casting in like for Toby Gaming Clash, whether it's 2v2 or to see people have a good time, man, I think that makes me incredibly happy to see because I know that the event can be evolved into something better. So, I think that was one of my favorite moments. Like, I think to see you get to the grand finals on that Toby Gaming Class, I see you popping off, man.
It was so wild.
It was so good, man.
We didn't die once until the end. It was so crazy. Like, nobody expected that stuff. That was definitely Cinderella moment type thing. So it's hard. Those don't happen often. Yep. I'm like, the next one, if there is, I'm sure I'll come in last or something, But it was so memorable. I'll never forget that. And it was, anytime people talk shit about me being bad at PvP, I'll just be like, I came in second place and I killed Captain Burke. So what's up?
No, that's 100%. That's 100%. And my goal for that first Toby Gaming Class was actually to take care of, like, because I don't mind saying it, but the Toby Gaming Class for the content creators that were picked were a paid opportunity, right? So,
yeah.
And my first idea was like, I need to take care of my OGs. That's it. Like Astropub, Meyer's been around for a while. I had reached out to Captain Richards, but he's traveling, he's doing different things, and I understand is not always a lot, but that was my first thing in my head. Like, I got to take care of my OGs, man. They've been around for so long, like, if we don't take care of them, and then kind of mix in like Zero State and the newer blood now. But I mean, like, that was my first thing, man. I got to take care of the community and hopefully we have another one, but not 100% sure yet. We're still trying to work on it, man. But
I mean, I think, that's the hardest thing is how difficult is it with the ever changing game and like looking ahead. Like, we could talk StarCitizen for a little while right now. It's looking ahead is kind of scary at the moment. Lots of moving parts, lots of possible instability, lots of possible 30Ks. We're talking about, in almost every aspect of any event that you take part in, ship combat, flight, a lot of stuff is going to be changing in that. So it could change the way you guys do things in a lot of ways, right?
Yeah, I agree with you, but there's something that our events do, and that's changed the mind of the developers in StarCitizen, believe it or not. So like when a lot of people, like, that's why a lot of people don't understand. Like, if you're in an event for the day rally and we're filling up 900 people servers, you're helping kind of put the game servers on go as hard as they can.
Spaces, yeah.
Yeah. So the same thing for ship combat, right? Like, if they keep us seeing, if they keep seeing like us using the same 6 ships over and over, because a lot of people use the Arrow and the Gladius or the Arrow and the Talon, they're gonna be like, damn, we got to balance the Saber, we got to fix the Hornet, we got to fix these other ships that are supposed to be used in these scenarios, and we can't even use them. So like, these events may or may not shape, but they take a heavy feedback from us, and after the events, we put feedback together, and then we send it out. So if they want to use it, they can use it. If they don't want to use it, then it's obviously their choice. So
Yeah.
we do give heavy feedback, so it could change. A lot of our tournaments can change the pace on how they do things with PvP or the flight mechanics or whatever it is. So we do really good at making sure that they get the data so they can see like, hey, here's what's working, here's what's not working. If you can fix it, great. If you can't, whatever's priority, go for it. So
Sure. I mean,
Yep.
dude, the fight or flight one was so fun with the randomly chosen ships. Like, you didn't know what you were getting until right before, and we knew what ships were going to be in it, but we didn't know when we were going to have them. And
Yes.
like coming up with the strategy in that moment of like how you were going to fight, who you were going to go for first.
Yep.
I don't know how it was for the viewer, but that I had to feel was probably pretty entertaining, and then watched the teams try to, I guess, enact that strategy was probably pretty fun. But yeah, I mean, what I went with that question was more of, we got 318 on the way.
Yes.
You got persistence. You got possibly lots of 30Ks. You have the possibility of the future where the game, like, what are you going to do when the game starts to come together a little bit more, and it's going to be a lot harder to fill up a server and protect yourself that way? That's going to be really tough. And I always, real quick before you go into it, I've constantly fought for one thing in particular. If you do not want to be involved in a certain scenario, like if you want to be in a safe place and want to kind of make things like this, I always felt that CIG should provide systems that you can do this stuff in. I also feel that's like getting the security together and all that stuff is pretty cool too.
Yep.
So.
I was just about to say the same thing. Like, the part of emerging gameplay, right? And sorry, I gotta go back here, but I'm gonna mention the Day One Rally, right? So we have an entire security team that has people that go in every server. I can't really say how much because it's like, like a security breach, but we have security that goes in every server. Now, when we talk about emerging gameplay, right, is because we have pirates like planning to destroy the Daymar Rally, and that's a real thing. Like, we have pirate orgs that really are like trying to get into the servers because we cap the servers out at 100 or 50, and they're trying to get in our servers and kill us. So, like, I think it's going to be the same thing. So whenever we go to pyro or we go to an enemy area where we just have people that play the game that are security that are going to protect us. So, and to me, it's going to be a lot easier because if we have 100-player servers, that means that instead of splitting them between 50 servers, I have double security now because I have 100-player servers. So like, say back then we had, I think, 12 50-player servers for the Daymar Rally, and I think we had maybe only 5 per server. So if we get those 700 people, instead of having 5 security per server, I'm going to have about 8 to 10 now. So I'm going to feel way protected. They can cover more ground, have the perimeter around, and we'll be fine. So, like, I think that, again, part of the emerging gameplay is just having the community just band together, having security, having the measures there. So if like anybody tries to come and sabotage us, which I'm not going to lie, for maybe one server they were successful in the past and took out races and stuff, but that's part of the game. That's part of it being the filthiest race in the verse. It's emergent and anything could happen. So, but going back to 318, like, I agree. Right now, the servers are very unstable. People are getting 30Ks. Yesterday, we were trying to do the Gray Cat social, which is racing, the Gray Cat, and all of a sudden, like, nobody could steer their vehicle, and it was like an entire mess. So, but at the end of the day, man, I don't think no matter what StarCitizen throws at us, we're just gonna get it done. We're gonna figure it out. We got, like, our community are players as well, so they play the game, so they know the bugs. They know, like, what happens if there's a bug with party launching. Like, all that stuff, man. So I think at the end of the day, like no matter what, we're still gonna do our events and do our best to kind of make it happen.
Yeah, I was curious if you were thinking about like holding off for a little bit to see what would happen, but
Never,
no,
never.
love it.
No,
Yeah.
we go all day, all night if we have to. Obviously, we want to respect people's time, but like we just want to make it happen, man. And when we when we have that mindset, like, hey, this is the day where we're gonna do this race, like nothing's stopping us from doing it.
True. That's cool. Now let's get like a little bit more like back to you. What have you been up to lately, and what games are you playing? Are you excited for anything? Or
Oh man, so
I'm on this Ashes of Creation hopium at the moment. I got a
oh
problem.
really?
A little
Let me
bit,
tell you.
yeah.
Let me tell you something about Ashes, man. I was a content creator for them, and obviously, like I started traveling a lot more, and going to events. Like this year, I've been to Mexico City, Valencia, Spain. I'm actually about to leave in a few hours to Australia for
Jeez.
for DreamHack. So but as a creation, man, like the direction they went in, they like kicked out all the content creators and like we want to start fresh because there's people here that are not making content. I'm like, how are we supposed to make content when the game is not even
Oh, yikes!
released or
Really?
anything? So they're like, well, people are doing podcasts and people are doing this. I'm like, okay, I don't have time for podcasts because why am I gonna talk about a game that's not out yet? I understand other people can and have the time to do it, but like I have no gameplay to show, and you guys told us that we can't take any B-roll during our beta test and all that stuff. But I mean, honestly, man, the game is looking great. The game is looking great. I think they're gonna do a good job, but I don't think that it's gonna be as popular as World of Warcraft used to be, man.
I don't think anything ever will, to be honest.
No.
But
I mean, StarCitizen, I think, has a good chance as an MMO, in my opinion. So
maybe I'm on this like weird situation where I came from MMOs that were more like Ashes, and StarCitizen's just very very different. And the more I learn about where they're going with it and everything, the more I'm like starting to come to this realization that I'm not sure it's the game for me. And then the more I look at Ashes, the more I'm like, oh yeah, this brings that back to where I came from a little bit more. And I'm like, I played more of the fantasy MMO before, not really. I did play a lot of like all of Chris Roberts' games up to Wing Commander 5, and then I just started like playing more sports and poker and things like that, so I wasn't playing games for a while, so I never played like freelancer until more recently or whatever. But yeah, I just look at it more, and then just from the general like project, I'm kind of like, I like that direction a little bit more. It seems more straight line.
Yeah, the thing is that Steven, right, which he's like the CEO, which I've met in the past, right? Like he owns it. Like that's his, right? So that way, so the direction that he wants to go in, and he's an old school MMO player, right?
Yeah.
So he knows about the MMO and the old school MMOs like Tessa Online and all those other MMOs out there that have a small community, and he's just trying to build something that he wants to put together, like what all the good parts of these smaller MMOs are, and put it all together and bring it out. And I think he has a good plan. So, but like I just think things are like I had access to alpha, and I can talk about it because I'm not in the creator program anymore. And it ran well, but the thing is, the servers were getting punched really hard, and it was like StarCitizen. We're getting 30K a lot, and there were issues. But overall, the gameplay, the way the game looks, the way the spells were casted, everything looked great. So if he can execute that game, man, I think it can do well. But I said I don't like after playing it and trying it a few times, I don't like I just like. I think the fast pace of what WoW brings and the mechanics of like the raids and stuff is like what
never
really
played WoW.
In. So
you played a lot of WoW?
I played 17 years, man, of World of Warcraft. So I used to work at GameStop. GameStop was like, hey, we have alpha keys for World of Warcraft. So that was in 2004. And I played all the way to like, I think, so it was 13 years, like 2017, 18 was when I quit finally. And I literally went through that entire just raiding 4 hours a day, even when I was in the Navy, I would literally like we'll hit a port. I'll go find a internet cafe, log in, and do my dailies and keep up with my character. And yeah, it was crazy, man. It was a crazy time. But I think like that game really spoiled me, the mechanics, like the talent trees, how they were. And I used to play a lot of Warcraft 3, the RTS game.
Mm.
And
I did not have a computer that could play that, so I stopped at Warcraft 2. I played Warcraft 1 and 2, but I never was able to play 3.
So I was actually like top ranked in the world in that game, and and then Frozen Throne came out, and so like I just knew like the story and the background of like Blizzard and the World of Warcraft, that's why the MMO kind of sucked me in too. So
that's an interesting thing. Let's talk about that for a little while. Not necessarily about World of Warcraft, but we can kind of tie it into Star Citizen a little bit. I think we're a Star Citizen podcast. I think one of the things that I'm noticing about now that I'm kind of drifting out of Star Citizen a little bit more and checking out these other games like Ashes, and I watch a lot of content creators from other games, whether I play them or not, because I find those creators interesting. I agree. A lot of the time that they talk about the games that they play, especially when they're MMOs, it's a lot about the world building and the story and the lore. Yeah. Star Citizen has some pretty deep lore and stuff, but how did you learn about the lore for Warcraft? How did you learn about the lore in those worlds? Because I think it's very different from the way we learn them in this one.
Actually, a very good question there. Bless you, by the way. If you did get it.
I held it back because I was trying to mute the mic and I couldn't reach it. And now I just missed my sneeze, but whatever.
So I was pretty much like, I learned the lore from playing the games because it had a good single player, and you go through the story and about Arthas and Sylvanas and all that good stuff. And I feel like this relates to Star Citizen because the lore is going to be Squadron 42, right? Even though I get a lot of lore from Astropub, this guy's incredible. This man is a historian, obviously, but like I watch a lot of his stuff to kind of, keep up with the lore and keep up with things. But
I've started to as well.
Yeah, but I still feel like no matter what, the lore needs to come from the game itself, which it is because he's getting that information. But until I play Squadron 42, I don't feel like I can put all the pieces together. And that's when I'll start putting things together. So that's why I feel like Squadron 42 is going to be so important, because when people play that game, it's only going to bring in more and more people into just the PU and more people into the game in general, because I kind of already know how the lore is, but the thing is, like, I want to experience the lore because that's what kind of creates that moment of like I'm hooked, So
I think one of the situations in Star Citizen where they really kind of dropped the ball, and it's a sad one, but it's understandable with the state that the game is currently in, is the mission givers. Like you have the opportunity, like Star Citizen and the overall universe, right? That's more of the lore we're going to see in a Squadron 42 is like the UEE and that more macro kind of stuff. But in the Stanton system, there's all sorts of opportunities for lore. I think the best thing that we're getting right now is your Nine Tails. We learn those kind of stuff. But you have the opportunities to learn about these characters a little bit, and they just never kind of were able to build upon that yet. And I think whenever they are, you can start to... I think one day you'll probably start seeing people favor certain systems. Like, I'm from this system, I live in this system, right? Yeah. Like that kind of stuff, right? Because that's where you start to build that world building, and people start associating themselves with certain places, maybe. I don't know. But I agree with you. It has to be in the game. As much as it's nice and all the work they're putting in, writing stories and all that kind of stuff, the moment it's in game is the moment that they're going to have some really strong success.
Yeah, I mean, I remember when they had, the hero missions, and then just kind of like they had it there for a while. Everybody was excited. Oh, how do I get this mission?
Never quite worked, right?
Yeah, and they like you said, they never build up upon that, and that created excitement, and then they put something else to you, and it creates excitement, and then they never follow up on it. It's kind of like something that keeps happening. But I really hope that they go back to establish these NPCs and characters that are important to the lore, and maybe if Squadron 42 is a 3-part game or is not, at least put them in there so people can like go back to the game and get excited and
see
be like,
their
oh,
origin
this
story.
person. Exactly.
Yeah,
So
that'd be kind of cool.
that's what makes that character significant in Star Citizen. I think that's what they need to show. And if they can show that, people can just kind of relate and they want to do those missions. And like, and I want to see something like, like don't just make it 2 missions or 3, man. Like make this thing a chain, right? Make it hard, because that way you have to build that reputation in the game and things like that. So,
Yeah.
but we'll see what they do. I know they're, I know they flopped on it, but I know they're working hard behind the scenes. So hopefully we can get something back. Yeah.
I wouldn't even call it they flopped on it. It just kind of is what it is. It just comes down to, like, we're talking about other MMOs and the thing that immediately, like, you played Warcraft 1, you played Warcraft 2. Warcraft 3 was when they really started telling the story, right, of the game, and then they just opened up the world for you to play in it with World of Warcraft. And like you see like Riot MMO stuff, and Riot's, I think, doing a really good job with that too, is that they had their game that they had a lot of success with. They're starting to tell the stories of those characters and the worlds that they came from and the areas that they came from. And then eventually they're going to open up the world in which those characters live and allow you to live in it. And whether or not that game's good is irrelevant, because it will have some level of success because of their ability to tell the story of it, and people maybe wanting to participate in that story in some way. And Star Citizen has the time and the opportunity to do it. It's just whenever they can, it'll be really nice when they do, because I think in order to have a successful MMO, you have to be tied to the world in some way, right? And I think that's probably why you played World of Warcraft for so long.
Yes. I think that the reason why I get stuck to Star Citizen so much and want to build something with the community is because not only was it fresh at the time, but like I just honestly, like, when people play Star Citizen, they say the same thing I'm about to say. I've never played any other game like it.
Yeah,
it's just like
it's unique
experience. Yeah, the second you figure it out, and after you beat that first learning curve, you're like, potential here is insane.
Yep.
So, and everybody said it, right? We during we had so many top streamers playing this game and RPing and doing so many different things, and I was like, dude, when this game comes out right now, I'm seeing it on Twitch with 200,000 viewers. I'm like, this is gonna be scary when this, if it ever or whatever happens, man, it's gonna be scary, because I feel like it can do good against GTA 5 RP. It can do good against a lot of other genres out there. It can be competitive. It can be racing. It can be anything it wants to be, and I think that's what's unique about it, and what's gonna also give people the weapon. Like, you can go in this game and do whatever you want, as to oppose like World of Warcraft. You literally are stuck doing the same stuff after you get to endgame: dailies, raids, and farming for mounts like you're crazy. So
yeah,
in Star Citizen, you can do all that stuff and figure it all out. Like, there's still stuff, I'm pretty sure, in the standard system that nobody has seen or explored yet, and we're only in one system, which is crazy. So just the thought of that, I think, makes me excited to continue playing.
For sure, yeah. I mean, the potential for the game is literally endless at this point. It's just I've been saying this for the last like year and a half, probably. It's so frustrating because it's just the wait for these things, but like it's literally the next patch too. Is persistence comes. They've talked about how close it is to how much work it is towards server meshing, and then once that comes in, like, I have not been positive about the game over my whole career, and more lately, I don't feel as good about it as I had in even more recent time. But
I mean, you haven't been positive about it because you're so damn passionate that you want to hold the devs accountable, and that's understandable. So like, I want people. I don't want people to mistake your negativity, which is, to me, it's not. It's just passion for the game.
Yeah, that's true, but people just don't see it that way, and that's fine. They can look at me however they want. I don't care. That's one of the things that I kind of enjoy about going to events like the Bar Citizen that we're going to go to, is that they can associate like a human being with the whatever I say on the internet, or and it's, the thing is it's not a personality. It's me. Me. I'll I am the same person in real life that I am on the internet.
Yes.
It's not any different. But the thing that I think is the most important, and I've actually been called like too positive lately. I'm not hard enough on them. Like I'm getting these kind of comments. It's just you have to wait for meshing, and then they have no excuse anymore. It's once that is there, they have like kind of the framework for the game for the most part. They know the limitations of the engine, of what they can do and what they can't do. Every other game that you look at, whatever Riot's MMO is going to be developed in, we know UE5 is what Ashes of Creation is being developed in. You know what WoW's being,
Yep.
you know, they know the limitations of their engine, and so on and so forth, right? You know, somebody in chat says, but how long? LOL. Obviously, that's the problem here is how long are they going to keep pushing us and our patience, because mine's wearing more thin than it ever has. But waiting for those things is paramount before we start getting like mega critical about them. And I've kind of came to that realization. It's taken a long time for me to come around to that, and that's it. I don't know how it sounds like you kind of feel the same way, because you're talking about the potential of the game, and that's all it is right now. It's a ball full of potential, but that potential can't be realized until that tech works, right?
No, I agree with you, right? And everybody has every right to feel a certain way, but you know, it's something that a lot of people don't do in this community is respect other people's opinion, which is so you know, like it's how can you guys? I mean, everybody's gonna have a difference of opinion, right? Like right now, the Great Cat PTV, like everybody's like, it's a meme vote, like okay,
they're losing their mind about it.
yeah,
It's
yeah.
so
So like
funny.
we understand, we get it, but again, you got to respect other people's vote opinions, man. It's what make us, you know, different people, and you're gonna get that in game as well, man. So I mean, you know, like I don't like, you know me, man. Like I've been around the community for a while. So if it comes out, it comes out. If it doesn't, I don't care. I play other games.
Same.
I play MultiVersus. MultiVersus right now is my go-to game. You know, I've been catching up on Elden Ring and trying to finish it off.
Game?
So which one, MultiVersus?
Yeah, I think I got some like sponsored email about it, like to do a sponsored thing for it, and I just ignored it.
So okay, so MultiVersus is a platformer. The game that I can relate it to a little bit is Smash Brothers.
Okay.
But it has WB characters. So it has characters like Bugs Bunny, Tom and Jerry, characters that you grew up with. Again, this goes back to the attachment. Like you've watched Looney Tunes, you've watched Tom and Jerry. You know, like they just put in Morty from Rick and Morty. They have Batman, Wonder Woman, Superman, right? So it's WB putting all their IPs together in a fighting game, and you know it's a platform. It's a 2v2, or you can play 1v1. And it's incredibly fun. The mechanics are great. There's dodging mechanics. There's like, you know, slow fall, you know, like short jumps, and it plays so great. But the thing is, like, what brings me in is all the characters they're adding. They're adding like Black Adam. They're gonna add characters from like Mortal Kombat in the future. They could add Neo from the Matrix. So like things that you've watched in the past, that are going in the game, dude. It's just like every time a new character comes out, like you want to play it because it's a different experience. And what they do about the characters, right, is that they take bits of like say Tom and Jerry from the episodes and put them as moves in the game. So when you see Tom and Jerry doing a move, like him taking like Jerry, which is the mouse, and throwing him as like a slingshot, like as a slingshot, like that's in the cartoon, and you're over here like, no way, this is like real.
Now I know why I didn't play it though, because I had friends that were like really, really good at Smash, and was like, come on, play, and just like destroyed me every time. And I was like, this game sucks. I suck. I'm not having fun. Fuck this game.
It's actually easy to play. It's actually not like, it's not like Smash where you have to get a certain rhythm down and practice a lot. Like I think if you go to the tutorial on MultiVersus and you try it out and you see how the mechanics work, you can get it down fairly easy. But
okay, cool. The games that are like easy to learn, difficult to master are always good. So
yes,
that's cool.
Yes. Like I mean, like I ain't gonna lie, the developer behind like MultiVersus right now, it's like this guy his name is Tony. This guy's always on like social media talking to the community, like this is getting patched, this is working, we're gonna look into this. Like you know, like it's a breath of fresh air to see like, you know, like developers like go out to the community and really take in their feedback and see what works and what doesn't. So yeah, it's a pretty good game, and they have a good team behind it. So
Yeah. It's it was just something that popped in my email, and like sometimes every once in a while, because I don't, a lot of people may not know this, but like when you stream and you make YouTube videos, you're just like constantly getting barraged with like
yes.
emails of like indie games that are just like look like shit and are just not really interesting or whatever, right? So you just constantly are just like deleting them, ignoring them, saying no. And every once in a while there's one that you ignored and it like popped off and became a huge game. Like it's basically what happened with Fortnite and Ninja, right? Like Fortnite
Yep.
was the thing, Ninja was like the guy who jumped on it. Do you like my Fortnite gaming chair?
Oh yes.
Yeah.
Jeez.
So
Hey,
yeah.
you got a few wins yesterday, man. I
Yeah.
was hoping you dyed your hair blue, man. It was incredible to see you just like pop off and win, man. That was actually great. So
Yeah, so it's just like, some people jump on those and it's successful, but or whatever. But it's just funny. MultiVersus was definitely one of them, where I was like, I know this somehow, but I don't know how. And I think
believe it or not, I was one of the top Fortnite streamers before the PvP came out, and I was playing Save the World, and I was like averaging like a good like 200-300 viewers, and I was like, the dad was like giving me codes, hey, give out Save the World codes, and I was like, sure. And then the PvP came out, and they were like, hey, can you go try it? And I saw my viewers count dip, and I went back to Save the World. I was like, and then I saw Ninja blow up, and I was there before him at the time because they told me, hey, this is coming out.
Hair. You could have been flossing in New York. That could have been.
I would never floss in New York. I would definitely not gonna do that, bro. Why is nobody dancing? It's raining. I'm not gonna. But I was there during that moment, and I did not capitalize on it. I went back to Save the World and then I was super high into Save the World, and like I didn't know what else to do, so I went back to StarCitizen. And that was a big mistake, man. I could have been popping off in Fortnite for a few years, but you know what, man? I'm happy where I'm at, and that's all that matters.
That's what I was about to say.
So,
like, is it worth doing something that isn't fun for like that you don't find fun? Somebody else might find it fun, right? But like, is it worth doing something that you don't find fun for the views? That's the thing I struggle with right now. I'm struggling with StarCitizen finding fun.
Yep,
and it's hard. I think like. You've found a really good way to make it work in like outside the game as well, which probably makes it a lot more fun.
Yes,
for you, right?
Yes, it does. Like doing things with Atmo Esports and casting, it really does make it fresh, right? Because like I'm over here and like helping this guy, like me, like I never want to stop learning, man. I can't, right? So like say over the past 2 years, I had to learn photography. I learned how to run vmix and produce, and how to run an entire stream and try to take it to the next level, and replays, and how to cast. Like I had to learn all of this stuff, man. It's not just me like just trying to jump on a screen and just be loud. I mean, I used to do that when I stream, but like I have to play the game behind the scenes. I want to learn a little bit more about the game. I'm not perfect with my knowledge in StarCitizen, but like I've been playing the game so long that to me, it's still the same. Like, other than a couple loot changes in here and there, like, I still have pretty good knowledge of the game and where it's heading to. So
I thought it was really strong. During the event that we took part in was like your commentary and stuff on it. Like you and Detox were really on point with what was happening. Detox really it was giving me a hard time, and I didn't like it. He was like, he must be cheating. What's going on? Or he practiced more than he said he did.
Oh man.
He was throwing shade.
Dude, Detox throws shade at everybody. It was funny because during the regular fight or flight, like he was talking shit about the Talon. And and while he was talking crap about the Talon actually won. And I'm over here like, Detox, guess what? The Talon won. And I started saying like, caw. So now the entire community that owns the Talon, they're just like, they don't even call it the Talon anymore. It's a caca now. I was like, oh boy, here we go. So, but like the moments that we create though doing these events, man, like say Damon Rally, like we had a father and son join the tournament. We had a family like of 3 join the tournament. Like
that's so cool.
His dad, his daughter, and his son. Like what kind of incredible stories we're making, and like it's just. like that's what keeps me going, right? Like just the people, man. Like you can be negative to me, I don't care. Like I've been around this community so long, like I've streamed this game so many times, and you know, I'm gonna touch something real quick because a lot of people are scared to do this or say it, right? A lot of people play Star Citizen all the time, and I'm pretty sure this is YouTube, but a lot of people that play Star Citizen all the time sometimes are scared to play other shit because they are too busy about numbers or they're like I finally overcame that years ago. I don't care anymore. And maybe that's because I have a full-time job and you know I'm doing great and I can also, you know, add to the community on top of that, but at the same time it's like I just want to be happy and play whatever I want. So if I want to turn on Elden Ring and play for 24 hours straight, that's what I'm going to do, right? If I want to, you know, play Star Citizen for 24 hours straight, that's what I'm going to do. But if I don't feel like, you know, if I don't feel like the game is adequate enough for me to touch it, then I'm not going to touch it. So, and back then, that's how it used to be, right? Back then was like, if you didn't play Star Citizen, your community is like disappeared, gone.
Yeah, your Star Citizen portion of your community is, of course, right? Is that
and that's like 80% sometimes because
Yeah,
a lot of people like you know they're gone. It's too much pressure. Like, what do I stream that can, you know, be related to Star Citizen without losing so many viewers? And that scares people.
Yep.
And that pushes them away from, you know, from the community, and we see that over and over.
I've been
But
there. I'm still there. I'm getting a lot more. I'm getting a lot better with it because I have 2 YouTube channels now. I consider them fairly successful, and they're supporting more financially than they ever did. And that's not a situation where I have to choose between one thing or another. I can stream whatever I want, and I like, this has been a realization that I've had more in the last few months is I want to come to my stream and focus more on having fun. The only day that would ever be dedicated directly to Star Citizen would be this day for the podcast purposes. That's it. And again, it's just a YouTube video in that case, right? So the it's gotten a lot easier because if you desire to be a content creator, right? Like that is that, and like that's, I just have like, that's my brain, that's where I want to go, that's what I want to do. You do have to make choices that may not be the most fun all the time. And streaming especially. But I think YouTube has really helped make it so I can be myself, have fun, do whatever I want on stream, and like play Farthest Frontier, which is literally the opposite of Star Citizen.
Yeah.
Right? And just have fun. And believe it or not, people might like give me a hard time for making react videos or whatever, but I think that's made the biggest impact and change on my stream community, because it's kind of shifted towards people caring what I have to say or people caring about hanging out rather than playing the game, rather than having like it's the craziest thing, because 90% of Star Citizen streams are the game is the background, the conversation is the foreground.
Yeah.
But if you take the background and keep the same conversation, for whatever reason, Star Citizen Twitch viewers will just immediately leave. Like, you can continue the conversation about Star Citizen and switch to a different game, and they immediately leave no matter what. It's a very odd thing.
I have to compliment you, right? Because I remember in the past, man, you would hit me up and be like, man, your setup looks good. Man, why are you so like organized? Why are you so this? But I'm going to tell you something, man. Out of all that, like, it doesn't matter, you know, like, I appreciate you saying that. But yeah, at the end of the day, man, like, the content that you create in Star Citizen is unique. Nobody else is doing. And like, I think a lot of people, you know, like, can honestly learn a lot from what you're doing, because like, if now we're gonna be in the same loop and people are gonna get tired of it, right? Like,
how many people have come and gone from streaming this game? How many people have started popping and just petered off, stayed the same, and then started giving up? 100, something like that, maybe more. And there's like 2 or 3 that had that rise and kept going up, and both of them were in fight or flight with me. It was Captain Burks, who I think I called it when he had less viewers than I did, that he was going to be the top content creator in the space. And Zero State, I think, is the best streamer, period.
Yep.
In the space.
I agree. I watch them both, but at the same time, Mike, like don't sell yourself short, because out of all these people, you have the most unique content, not only on Twitch but also on YouTube, and you do it very, very well. And like you never gave up, right? I'm sorry, I don't want to mention other people, but Soros gave up.
A lot
You're
of people
still here.
did.
Yeah, you're still
It's not
here.
just
You're
him.
still making content. Yeah,
It's
I mean,
hard.
Scorpion. There's a lot of people. I mean, he comes back once in a while, but like, you still are you are still here. You're still making unique content and finding new ways to break something different with the community. And the React stuff is incredible, because not only are you engaging the community about what your opinion on other videos, you're also engaging with other content creators and giving them, a platform to see their videos as well. So
But
you're
Crucian, I'm just stealing from them, and now you'll never watch any of their videos.
Come on,
ever.
man. Come on, man. If you have a guy that's not even on YouTube, has 20 viewers on Twitch playing StarCitizen, he makes a video on YouTube, you react, you're giving them a platform to help them out, and you're giving them visibility. If you guys do not know what that is, just stay out of my lane. That's what I'm going to tell you right now.
I'll also say, and I've said this many times now, a lot of the videos I watch, the individual creator sends it to me. That creator sends it to me to watch.
Oh, well, even better. Like,
Yeah.
that means you get, full-blown permission to, either, give it a good review or shit on it, which I think is totally fine, because at the end of the day,
on one right
like,
before the
that's
podcast.
fine. It's either going to make them do a few things better. It's going to make them explain themselves better in the video instead of just rambling on crap. And I think that, it's going to make them, a better creator, or make their next video to make sure that he rereads his script and hopefully, makes sense. Because when I was watching it, I was like, this doesn't make no sense, man.
Bro, this comment is like, I don't see comments like this very often, so I'm gonna read it. If there was no Mike, I'm sure I would be done with StarCitizen, except for CitizenCon days.
Wow,
that feels really good.
Yeah, like I said, man, you're doing something very, very unique, and nobody else is doing it, man. And I think a lot, like, you always used to talk about me and trying to get all these people, but at the end of the day, man, you're the one creating special content, and you're doing it different than everybody else. So yeah, Burks may be a top streamer. Zero State may be a great streamer. At the end of the day, bro, your content is unique and king.
I still try so hard. The dream is, like, do you know like Mizkif and OTK? You have to, right?
Yes.
They are so good. And the reason why is they're just a bunch of friends that hang out. And just, it doesn't matter. They'll play games together. They'll watch videos together. They'll make content together. They, like, hate them, like them, whatever. It doesn't matter. You have to appreciate how well they put together everything, and how not invested you can get in them, but they're all friends. It's organic and it's real. And that's what I tried to do so hard. Me and Crucian were in Redacted together.
Oh, man.
that was my mission with that, was to be OTK before that ever happened. It was just a bunch of guys that liked hanging out, wanted to play games together, guys and girls, and just have fun. And the difference is, I think, big one is, the OTK people all live within 5 minutes of each other, right?
Of each other. Yep.
Right?
They all live in Austin, and they all just
we were all separate time zones.
Yep.
But that is if I had the ability to morph and change again and take something to the next level again, that's what I would want to do. I just don't know if it's possible. Like, I've tried to reach out to the people that I'm friends with more now in the StarCitizen space, and it's like, let's play some games together, let's do this, and I get like and it's just like, that's it, right? But then I would have to be the Mizkif and be the glue that keeps everyone together, and I just don't have the energy for it at the moment, right?
I mean, don't get me wrong,
those the glue in a lot of ways. I think I'm the glue between, like, people that a lot of people hate, and I'm friends with and friendly with some of the more like white knighty people as well. And I do feel like I have some glue aspects to me, but not enough.
Look, nobody hates you, man, because the second somebody sees
Yeah,
you at
oh,
CitizenCon, they're
yeah,
like,
they
yo,
do.
take a picture with Mike. Like, they're like, he's there.
No, they don't. No, they don't. Funny story. Funny story. You ready? And this is one that I probably haven't told in a long time. LA CitizenCon 2016.
Oh, boy.
Nope. I stream at 6:30 in the morning. Nobody knows who I am in America. Nobody. Now it might be different because I post more YouTube videos. Back then I didn't post any YouTube videos. So you only knew me if you were up really early in the morning. And somebody came up to me and was like, "Are you Bad News Baron?" And I was like, "Why, yes, I am." Bad News Baron is standing next to me. So I look at him and I go, "Why, yes, I am." And I was like, "Do you want me to sign anything? Do you want to take a picture?" And I just like started just like pretending that I was him. It was super fun. But when I went to Gamescom in Germany, that's when it was a little bit different. That's when I like could see somebody across the room staring at me and like wondering if I am who I am, or like that's SaltEMike, or I guess Twerk17 at the time. And that's Twerk. Yeah. And I would just like wave them over, like, "Do you want to, like, hello?" You know? But so it was a little bit different there. But in the US, like, nobody knew. And I like that more.
And I'm sorry. I did forget about Baron, man. I hope he's doing good.
He is.
But
He pops in from time to time. And
okay.
but just like anybody else, it drains you. Like everybody dude, it's 20. How many times, like, you came on the Redacted podcast, we used to talk like about this kind of stuff all the time in 2015, right?
Yep.
How many times did we say by this year the whole game would be done? The game as a whole would be done, right? And we're now in 2022 looking at 2023, not even server meshing, and it's like a boner-inducing moment that there's 100 players in a server. So it's, it's things did not work out as planned, and to expect everyone to stick around and wait for it's just not possible.
It's just not possible. Yeah.
Yeah. You have you have to find your like niche and find your fun. And if you couldn't find it, like Baron's doing like Dungeons and Dragons stuff. Like, he's finding his fun, and I'm happy for him. It's just
and that's what I feel like I'm doing with Atmo, right? Like
exactly.
the thing is, a lot of people don't understand. Like, I'm actually like doing great things behind the scenes for like StarCitizen. Like, I've done like you've seen a few headset giveaways during like CitizenCon and special stuff. Like, that was all me putting it together. Like, I talked to Tyler a lot because I've like back then when I used to stream full time, I did the Intel a thing with them where they like built me a PC
thing.
I put them on the front
they gave
page
this guy
of Twitch.
The PC. Get him.
All right?
Get him. Get some pitchforks. They gave him a PC.
Hey, the thing is, I already had a relationship with Origin PC for like 6 years ago, so it was just like a mesh. And then I put StarCitizen and the Intel stuff on the front page, and we had like 7,000 viewers, and just Intel just lost their mind. We need to work with this guy, and I'm over here like, nah, I'm good. This PC, I'll take off. So if y'all want to blame me for taking a PC, man, hey, I'm it. I'm all in. I don't care.
No, they'll every once in a while when they talk about me, like in a negative way, they'll be like, "Didn't CIG pay him with a PC? They gave him a PC." It's like, no, they didn't give me a PC, dude. Holy crap! The only thing they've given me is some ships to give away. That's it.
Yeah. Anyways, going back to what I was saying real quick is that, like, in Atmo Esports, not only am like people are learning about the game, like, I'm also teaching people about, esports and competitive and how to run a bracket, how to, do basic marketing stuff. So, like, I'm like, how you're finding the way
you're your way to stay.
Exactly. Finding my way to stay and continue going. And like, I'm hoping that this is true, because a lot of people have said, and we've said in the past, like, a lot of things in the game are probably done, right? So once server meshing comes in, hopefully we can just start throwing shit in there like it's Christmas. So we'll see what happens. I don't know
if they're done, but they're
remaking a lot of it apparently.
Well, I just mean like like actual game systems, like actual
Yeah,
gameplay. Once you have the understanding of what you can and what you cannot do,
can
you
do.
can start working on those things. And then you'll probably start to see that stuff ramp up a lot more. We call it the floodgates in our Discord, and then they just start spamming
Ah.
Discord gifts. So
Oh.
you know, the floodgates will open, guys. And I think they always spam the hands up emote when we say the floodgates in Twitch chat. But
No,
um,
I believe that there is a point where they're gonna have floodgates, and I think like that's why Turbulent
it's
got
sink or
hired.
swim
Like,
at that point.
yeah, yep, because they're working on like I'm pretty sure they had systems made, and Turbulent is just like recreating them in the new engine and hopefully getting all that stuff caught up. There's still ships that need to be reworked from the old system as well. Like the Great Cat PTV. So there's still a lot to do.
There's
So
so much to do, and hopefully they get Squadron out the door and get a few more people on the
yep.
uh on the game. But I don't know. We're coming up to an hour. That's about where I wanted to go. But I think I don't know. I'm trying to think of where we can take it a little bit more. I mean, are you excited for Orlando? And what do you like about the in-person events? I'm nervous about this stuff, especially it's been 2 years since I've been to anything. I've definitely created more enemies than I've created friends over the last couple of years. So I'm worried about like
Yeah. I
how that'll be.
think I think you'll be fine, man. I think at the end of the day, like I think what happens in an in-person event that I miss is that making that connection with that viewer that you've been hanging out with in chat for for
Yeah.
a long time. So and then creating that connection is just only gonna make them want to watch your content more or do more and get to meet new people that are gonna eventually come back and like, oh yeah, I remember SaltEMike from the Bar Citizen. Let me
Hmm.
go watch him more. So it doesn't matter if people are there to hate on. You're just gonna find that person that you're gonna connect with, and you never know what's gonna happen, right? So, one thing I really miss about these in person events is like Stars in the Community is the only community that actually went to an event that people actually came up to me for a photo or recognized me or wanted to hang out and wanted to buy me a drink. And like I'm not
They're
trying to
very
make my head,
friendly.
yeah, exactly. I'm not trying to make my head big, but like to get recognition of what I'm doing within the community, whether it's streaming or casting or whatever it is, it makes me extremely happy because that way I can go into a full blown dialogue, ask them about their day, how they're doing, what they do, and kind of connect with them a little bit more.
Yeah.
It makes me happy that way. And like I'm not only am I going to the Bar Citizen in Orlando, but because I'm going to Australia, in the next few hours, I actually told Corsair from Atmo Esports, Brendan, like, yo, let's do a Bar Citizen.
Yeah.
And I just paid for an entire space for like 80 people and food and drinks. I
Let's
just paid
go.
for the entire thing. So, like, so if people are, if you're from Australia, like September 3rd, we're gonna have a Bar Citizen in Melbourne. It's gonna be like at this esports arena called Fortress. So I mean, like, I literally booked out an entire room. Atmo paid for some of it, so we booked out an entire room. So we're gonna have a Bar Citizen over there while I'm there. I think we have like 40 something people already signed up. So
Nice.
like, I'm just very excited to like just meet the community over there, man. So yeah.
Sick. Say hello to Croncy if he's there. That's
Yes, he's coming. Actually,
hell
like
yeah.
he had a donation goal. He was like, yeah, I'm like, Krause, you're coming. I think I gave him like $150. I'm like, dude, you're coming, bro, no matter
Let's
what.
go.
Like
Nice.
I worked enough overtime to make sure I take care of the community, man. So like, Krause, you're coming. So yeah, he's very excited though. Very, very
Sick.
excited.
Sick. Nice, man. Yeah, I think that's probably where we could put a stop to today's podcast. But dude, the it really does stick out, like the finding the way to stay
Yep.
has been a little eye-opening. I didn't realize that's what I was doing, but it's what I
That's a good
did.
subject, man. That's a good subject. You could title that subject, but
Finding the way to stay.
finding the way to stay within the community, man. But like,
Yeah.
I think that's for any community, man. I think you're doing great. I think the uniqueness you bring is again, I'm gonna say it again, like, because you deserve the credit, right? It's just unique, and nobody else is doing it, right? Everybody else, yeah, is doing gameplay, but the way you're reacting to these videos, the way you're just being attached to the community, you're just making them part of who you are, and that's what matters. So
Thanks, man. Is there anything you want to promote and highlight? before we let you go?
I mean, yeah, I mean, I'm down. If you guys don't know, Atmo Esports has 4 major events per year. All right, we have the Daymar Rally, which is an endurance race. We have the System 7, which is a F1 style racing league that you have to qualify in. We have Fight or Flight, which is a 2v2 PvP environment, which it gets very, very competitive. And then we have the Hearst and Herlocker, which is a battle royale in a crater. Last man standing wins. So if you guys are interested in emerging gameplay, or even coming out to help us and hang out, or just want to be part of the community in a more emergent or detailed manner, Atmo.gg. You can find us there. You can register for free for all of our events. We got some incredible prizes for top 3, whether it's the racing community, PvP community, or the FPS community, whatever it is, man. We're here to help grow the community into a different level. And we're going to hopefully continue doing that. So again, you can find us at Atmo.gg and go register for an event, or join our gilded server if you want to help us put on some events. And that's all I got.
Awesome. Yeah, I'm glad we got to catch back up, and that it wasn't all about Atmo Esports, and it was just talking and catching up on some things. I missed it. I missed this stuff.
Yeah, it's man. I mean, I don't know. The last time we talked about like a redacted podcast.
I know, right? Like I'm grinding, bro.
No,
I'm grinding so hard to the point where like I took a week break, or like 5-day break from streaming, because I was just like, I'm burned out. It's not even about like the game or anything really. It's just I put way too much on my plate, and I had to just scoop some of it off.
Yo, you do very good at streaming poker, by the way, man. You're a pretty badass dealer.
You watch some of that stuff?
I've watched it like 3 times, like because you always post in your Discord like, I'm streaming now. Be nice to the chat.
I don't do it anymore, actually, because now I'm the supervisor of those tournaments. So when you supervise them, you don't have to deal them anymore.
You have to deal? Okay.
So you won't see me on it anymore. But I do not get a big head about stuff. I am a very good dealer.
Hey, that's. I mean, I think the way you were dealing and throwing cards, I think I was like, man, this guy been doing this for a minute, man.
For 15 years, yeah.
What, really? Oh, I don't even know. I thought you've been doing it for like less than that, but 15 years, that's quite some time.
So I started in 2007.
Oh wow. So yeah, that is about. By the way, something that you didn't know about me is that I got kicked out of the casino Hard Rock in Tampa because I can probably go back now, but when I was 19 years old, like
careful, you'll get arrested.
Oh, that's fine.
Yeah.
So no, at 19 back then you could play poker.
Yeah, at 18 you can.
Yeah. So me and my buddy would go there and double up on the table, and we got caught and we got kicked out. So, but we were doing that for like 9 months, and I was actually living off of playing poker with my buddy because we had signals and everything, and then the movie 21 came out. We're like, we're not doing this again.
Yeah, that's cheating, guys. That's cheating. Yep. That's very bad to do. But,
yeah, I actually watched like card counters and they explain like on YouTube like what they can or can't do. Like like card counting is apparently not illegal, but they can legally like tell you to you can't play anymore.
It's a private place, so they can just say we don't want you to be here anymore, and that can go for anybody at any time for anything.
Yeah. What I didn't know was illegal is that the signage and them making signs to their other friends, that's actually incredibly illegal. So I didn't know about that until like recently of watching like the YouTube card counter. So
money.
Yeah, so I didn't know, but like a lesson learned from when I was 19. But yeah, I lived off of poker for quite some time, which is it was a cool moment. But not doing that again. That's what
brought me back to video games was I was playing online poker. I don't like playing live poker.
Full tilt back then.
Yeah,
so
I still have $2,500. They still have of mine.
you need to withdraw. Now gambling is just with crypto is like the stuff that's been happening is.
I would go nowhere near that.
Yep.
I had most of my money on Poker Stars, so I had like 10, 11,000 on Poker Stars, and I got that back within a week of everything going down. But I had some money on Full Tilt that I never got back. Very sad. I like that website though, but I never trusted it.
If you go out of the country, man, just log back in, like play a little bit.
True, and hopefully it'll still be there. I think Full Tilt's just like dead because there's like class action stuff, but Stars is still around.
Yep.
Man, that shit was crazy. I learned a lot about math and probability and all that stuff from that. And now just sitting there and listening
Same.
to people talk about gambling while they're playing and how it's all just luck and all this stuff, and I'm just like, my brain hurts so bad, and like people are so
Yeah.
dumb.
Yeah, I'm over here like here's Mike on the table as a dealer. Like, hey, you have a 13% probability of flopping the ace. I'm over here like, great.
Like they're like, I haven't hit a set in this many times. The set is when you have a pair and then
Yeah.
your third one comes out, right, guys?
Comes out,
I'm
yeah.
assuming most people don't know that. That happens one in every 7? I think it happens 1 in every 7 times that you have a pair, and it's like 12% of the time. But they're like, I haven't had it I've had this pair 5 times and I haven't gotten it. Well, it's like you haven't even hit the threshold of when you would get it. So just chill out, bro. But yeah, it's I'm still at the casino. I'm still doing that, but because like going all the way back to everything, and then I'll let you go. Going back to everything, because this community has been so supportive, the YouTube channels have been so much, like I've put the effort into them, and the effort's actually paying off, like monetarily paying off. I only deal 2 days a week, and I supervise 1 night a week. I work 3 days a week. That's it now.
Wow, that's actually incredible, man.
And I make more than I made 5 years ago.
Wow.
This place that I work at is really great, and I have the community that I have, and it's just, you know, I have more that I have to support now. I have a wife and everything, so I don't have any money still. But I literally don't have any money. But the ability to be happier is definitely there. And like we were talking about, that is just like choosing games, play games that make you happy, all those things. I feel like I'm finally in a place where I can do that. And that's where I started like peeking at Ashes, peeking at other things, trying out other games, and I just don't care because I want to do what's fun and what makes me happy. And you're somebody who I always look to. I remind me of that.
Yeah, I always tell people, man, I never get big headed like you say. I do my best, and my best is good enough, then you know I'm glad. But I always try to strive to improve, whether it's, you know, our events or just StarCitizen in general, man. If I can help improve the community in some way or form, I'm like, you know, you'll see me there and on, you know, behind the scenes. So
yeah, like somebody in chat goes, explains why you're willing to lose a shit ton of money on Ashes of Creation, because obviously it's like a big buy-in if people don't know that. It's think of it this way. It's an investment. Like, you know how we were talking about staying in the StarCitizen space? There's also an investment in staying in the content creator space. And if you think you're going to enjoy the game, maybe you're going to make content for it, and it's a small investment in the grand scheme of things if it ends up working out for you. So that's all that was. I don't know if I'm going to like the game. I think I might, and that'll be that. You know? I mean,
yeah, that's true. And that's a good way to put it, right? Investment, because you can't, like, if you're not gonna try a new game, you can't just, you know, just not invest in it. Like, especially if you like it. If you like it, you're just gonna go deep into it. So, and hopefully that can be the barrier of you, like, you know, doing something else until, you know, just StarCitizen gets better overall. So
I'll never leave StarCitizen, but StarCitizen isn't moving at a pace for anybody to follow it religiously. Yeah. Like, you know, I talked recently, I think the last podcast was about it, where I almost feel like they should go the Ashes of Creation direction of their communication. They just do 1 live stream a month, break down for an hour what they did in the last month, and then they disappear, and like maybe talk a little bit on their forums, post some tweets. And it's like, it actually shows progress each month. Whereas if you follow StarCitizen every week, bro, it looks like they're not doing anything when they actually are. You know, so it's like watching a pop boil. But
by the way, I want to mention this really quick, because a lot of people were like asking me, that has asked me this in the past, like when like in 318 they're putting in that course, right, in Orison, and they're like, oh, they're trying to kill Atmo Esports. I'm like,
what do you think about like other like groups, right? Like,
no, like
more the merrier, I assume.
Yeah, exactly my point. So here's what's gonna happen, right? People are gonna try that course out, race, have fun, like get that feeling, get that energy in, and then guess what they're gonna want to do? Race somewhere else. Where can they race? exactly where we're at Esports. So like it's to me, it's only going to create more gameplay and more hype for just the racing scene overall. And I hope they put in something for the PvP community. I hope they put in something for like the other communities that are out there, because it's just going to make the game want to do more. But whether it's more racing or more dogfighting or jump town, obviously. So but yeah,
I mean,
so
you streamed on Twitch. Like the mentality on Twitch is, well, if Crucian is live and I'm live, I'd really like you to watch me, and Crucian would really like you to watch him. So inherently, there's like going to be this little competition there. But what I see with things like this is it's more like YouTube, where you can watch a board gamer video or you can watch a Crucian video, and you can watch both of them, and there's no competition. You could play the I guess I don't know the name of the group, but I know like Black Maze is like the main guy who was around that snake pit thing. Yeah, XGR. Thank you.
Yep.
So you could do that race, and then the next week you could do your race, and it's all still racing, and it's all still great and fine. I look at it that way more than anything, and eventually, you'll have your the people who are the most organized, the most on top of things are going to be the ones that are going to succeed the most, obviously.
Now let me mention something, right? Like Atmo Esports concentrate on ground racing, PvP, and some battle royale and some ground FPS stuff. We actually leave XGR doing the ship racing because that's what they do, and we honestly don't want to step over them. When they do their events, when they do their events, they do it earlier in the day, and then ours come right after. So like, we all are now working together, but the thing is, like, we respect each other without even saying it, that we just work around everybody's stuff because they don't want to split the community, like, and our racers can't be there, and then their racers can't be there because they're doing one or the other.
So anybody.
Exactly. So we're, like, we're not going to ever touch ship racing as long as they're around. And, that can be, their thing, but we just cover literally everything else as much as we can. So
don't be the Hard Rock. So that's a reference of anytime anybody in the area runs a tournament, let's say they'll be like, this is a $100,000 guaranteed tournament. The Hard Rock will be like, we're doing a $200,000 guaranteed tournament. And they don't care if they lose money. They just want to ruin you. That's it. And that there's,
we're
it's
not
just evil, and it's not cool.
No, we're not that. We're actually planning on doing something together with XGR in the future. So, like, we just want to enable the community and really help push everybody upwards. Like, if you're over here to try to be better, I mean, I'm not gonna lie to you. I have a competitive spirit. I want to be like, my production needs to be top notch. My graphics need to be top notch. Like, so like.
But how does that happen? Yeah. They push you, you push them, they push you back, and everybody keeps getting better, and it just is better for, and who wins? All the people who participate, right?
Ooh, you know what that means? If we need to push StarCitizen, we need to start our own space game. No, I'm not doing that. I'm just kidding.
True. True. I think, what should we call it?
No Man's Sky? I'm just kidding. What? Oh, man. I don't know. Atmo?
I don't know.
I'm just kidding.
Atmo Citizen. There you go.
Atmo Citizen.
All right, Crucian. Now we're stopping.
No,
we have fallen off the train. We are drunk. We're drunk.
Oh man.
But yeah, dude, I want to say thank you for coming on. Thank you for reaching out and just saying hello and asking how I'm doing. Nobody does that except for you, and I appreciate it. You're a great friend, you're a great person, and Atmo Esports, StarCitizen community, anybody in your life is blessed to have you in it.
I try, man. I try. I appreciate that. So
yeah, man.
I remember I would message you on Discord, and you'd be like, just text me, man. Just text me. I'm like, okay, my bad.
Yeah, but I appreciate it. I won't see Discord as much because Discord people just like send you random shit all the time, and I just ignore it. It's too much. It's not because I want to ignore it, just so you know, guys. It's just there's too much. Like, a guy came to me today and said, "Did you read my post?" And I was like, "What post? I'm so sorry. Like, I don't. Yeah, it's not that I'm ignoring you. It's that I literally have the worst memory ever, and I keep my texts pretty clean, where I can." there's only like a few of them there. So if I could see yours, so I'm like, oh yeah, Crucian. Okay, you know.
I appreciate it, man. Thank you.
Yeah, man. But all right, we'll let you go, guys. Hearts and claps in chat for Crucian. And yeah, make sure you check out atmo.gg and all that stuff, and check out all the hard work that they're putting in, because it's really fun. And if you want to participate in some of these things, I mean, full marks for me. It was so I was about to say so annoying. That's not what I meant. It was so fun. I was thinking about something that somebody said in chat and started reading that. It was so fun. And yeah, if you ever get an opportunity to participate in these, I'm sure you would have a great time too. So make sure you do so. Again, Crucian, thank you so much for being here. And hopefully we won't have such a long time in between chatting. Again, I'm so sorry.
No worries, man. Thank you for having me. I seriously appreciate it. And I'll see you in a couple weeks, man. It's going to be a good one.
Sure. I'm looking forward to it.
All right.
All right, brother.
Peace. Bye, everybody.
Bye-bye. That was Answer the Call. I hope you guys enjoyed that. I know I do occasionally get comments about these, but they are very few and far between, that people don't necessarily like the format of just talking and chatting with people. But I think it is a good example of finding a way to stay and keep the podcast going. And it's a great opportunity for you guys to get to know people. And it's kind of what we do. It inherently is what I've started doing here is and it's what the podcast is all about too, is taking the podcast and making it for somebody else, whether it's about a certain subject and allowing people who may not have a platform to speak on that subject and get their voice out there. And it's an opportunity for you guys to get to know somebody who I think is a really great person. And I think that you should too, right? All the people that we've brought on the podcast in the past are like that. So again, I really appreciate Crucian and he's just a great guy. So yeah, I want to share the great person that Crucian is with as many people as possible. So thanks for watching. I hope you guys enjoyed it. And yeah, I'll catch you guys all later. Make sure you like, subscribe, comment, all the fun outro stuff on YouTube. And thanks for watching.